One thing to know about China is it's old. Old as the hills, with a history dating back thousands of years. In ancient times, spirits and dragons were thought to inhabit the land. You darn right they did. The Chinese believed in magic and superstitions. Luck was a biggie. Spirits were thought to bring good fortune or disaster, depending on how their day was going. Y'all remember cricket? Crickets were thought to bring good luck, although I still have my doubts. Red was also a color linked to good fortune, such as red silk, red apples, and red dragons. That's right. And that lovely green gemstone jade symbolized immortality and nobility and was thought to ward off evil. So the Chinese, they just carved all kind of things out of it. Many things like teapots, jewelry, Buddhas, warriors. All right, now y'all know Mulan wasn't just my sidekick. Yeah, that'll stick. She's believed to be a real person who lived in the 5th century A.D. Her father got called to war, but he was he was too sick to go. Legend has it that he and Mulan had a sword fight to see who would go in his place, and Mulan won. That's right. She cut her hair, put on her father's armor, and trotted off to be an imperial warrior. You go, girl! For over 10 years, she fought as a man, and nobody knew the difference. Yeah, not all them warriors were as sharp as their swords, obviously. Her bravery and great fighting skill, not to mention her guardian dragon, have been the inspiration for poems, plays, movies, and rumor has it a sequel, but you didn't hear that from me. Now about ancestors. They were thought to serve as guardians of the family. And then there were those who rang the gong. The Chinese built their monuments as an offering and prayed to them for help. Ancestors represented the family's honor, and family honor was numero uno with the Chinese. For men, honor was about courage and strength. And for women at the time, it was about being graceful and refined and delicate and all those things that Mulan wrote down on her arm before she met the matchmaker. Did you know a matchmaker had more control over choosing a husband than the girl herself? What is this, the Middle Ages? Oh, yeah, it is. Now, during Mulan's meeting with the matchmaker, dishonor didn't just come to her family. Child, it arrived COD. Ah, yes, the dragon, my personal favorite. Dragons represented nobility, wisdom, power, and could breathe flames a mile high. A mile high! Well, okay, not really. Most dragons were thought to control the weather and live in the clouds or at the bottom of the sea. But believe you me, dragons were central to Chinese culture. Just like the yin and yang symbols marking harmony and balance in the universe, and the 12 animals that make up the Chinese calendar. And yes, a dragon is one of them. Depending on what year you were born, you could be a rat, ox, tiger, rabbit, dragon, snake, horse, goat, monkey, rooster, dog, or pig. No, not a panda! Get that thing out of here. Take that fur ball back to the zoo or something. The emperor was the top man in China. I'm talking king of the hill. He had a palace, servants, a council, powerful armies, and dim sum. When I say dim sum, it's funny. I kill myself. His son or daughter would inherit the throne when the time came. You talk about following in your parents' footsteps. The people placed their faith in the emperor because they thought he was connected to a higher power, like a god or a dragon, you know. He took part in big showy ceremonies and festivals to ask the spirit world for help. Because, you know, they didn't have email back in those days. The Huns. Now, those guys were a force to reckon with. The tribe originated in Asia in the mountains of Mongolia and Siberia. They lived as nomads, which means they was always on the move, herding sheep and other animals in search of greener pastures. They were excellent horsemen and huntsmen. But they also had this annoying little habit of invading other lands. Like the day they thought they'd just swoop in, conquer China, and be home in time for dinner. I don't think so! And don't even get me started on them uniforms. Girl, they didn't have no sense of fashion. Over the centuries, no matter what China did, they got attacked over and over again by invaders like the Huns. But it was like hitting a stone wall. And then the emperor got it. A stone wall! Oh, yeah, that's it. Construction of the Great Wall began over 2,000 years ago by China's first emperor, the originator, the innovator. Give it up for Chen Shi Wang in the house. It was designed to keep invaders out, such as the Huns. It was built and rebuilt with stones, bricks, and packed earth by different dynasties and millions of workers over more than 1,000 years. Today, it stretches for thousands of miles and can even be seen
from space.
Cricket.
I am your father.
The Great Wall came to represent the ingenuity and the will of the Chinese people and served as a monument of a powerful, united nation. Excuse me, that part always gets me right here. Can I have a tissue? The Chinese invented fireworks after experimenting with gunpowder as early as the 3rd century BC. Kids, don't try this at home. It's believed fireworks began as explosives in festivals to ward off spirits. From fireworks came the development of war rockets, which became an important part of the Chinese defense system. It put the pow in their kung pao, you know what I'm saying? Have you done any homework lately? Well, you can thank the Chinese for that. For paper, that is, not homework. I don't know who invented homework, but when I get my hands on him... The Chinese invented paper around the 1st century AD, some believe earlier, by combining tree bark, linen rags, and wheat stalks. Sound like some pretty heavy reading material. Before paper, the Chinese wrote on scrolls of bamboo, like the conscription notice that Mulan's father received, calling him to war on that dark, dark day. Well, in ancient times, war was about as common in China as rice. Great Chinese strategists, warriors, and generals sprung up like lotus blossoms all over the country and made many important contributions to Chinese military strategy. Many books were written about the art of war. The most famous one was called, coincidentally, The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Its key points can be applied to life. Prepare, strategize, play by the rules, be smart, and never wear white after Labor Day.